Anyway, this is about a smut podcast. This isn't about my trauma.
Anyway, let's get it sexy again.
Okay, let's get sexy again. Ho, 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 motherfuckers.
Hello, ho, ho, motherfuckers.
I am running on such little sleep right now. Can you tell? We're just
very tired.
We're going to power through. Welcome to Say Smut, a literary podcast for readers and non-readers.
That is Sarah. She's on the nice list and she loves books.
Hope told me that she was on the nice list, but I did check twice and she is not. And it is for her talking.
No.
But that's okay because we're going to talk about books and we're going to make it extra naughty this time. Each episode, I break down the plots of some pretty wild books to Hope, who has not read them. And Hope, I got a gem today.
Yeah.
I've got such a good one. You know, because sometimes I'm like, things can be wild in different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have different genres of wild. And there's those books that will really slap you in the face. And then like, they're kind of like those, what are the little candies that are like the sweet and sour candies that they're like, they're sweet and then they're sour. Sour Patch Kids?
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids.
That was so hard for me to understand where I was going with that.
I could see them. I couldn't immediately think of Sour Patch Kids. And because they are sour and then sweet, I was like sweet tarts, which is the opposite and a different candy.
I did almost go sweet and sour sauce, but I was like, Sarah, get it together.
Delicious.
But
sweet and sour chicken.
It's like those commercials of like the sweet and then they're sour and then they're sour and then they're sweet. And it's like, that is the plot of some of these books where you're like, wait, what just happened? Wait, we're already changing again. Like, those vibes?
Yes, okay. I do know those vibes very
well.
That's
exactly where we're going. And sometimes books like these make me think, have we been too mild? Have we not made things crazy enough?
Possible, because sometimes the craziness is like off the charts, but it's in terms of like the whimsy of the setting and the presence of mystical or otherwise magical entities, and not necessarily about what's happening sexually.
That's so fair.
That's so fair. But there's always room to grow, I suppose.
Just the other week we had the zombie one. Like itself, there was no crazy sex thing happening other than like decaying body parts, obviously. Yes. But they had like just the setting of it being an apocalypse. You're like, oh, this is weird vibes, Yeah. Things like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. If you recall, okay, on December 12th, 2023, 2 years ago, actually 2 years ago today.
Wow.
That we are recording this. We're
recording this. No promises as to when we'll get it out.
Yeah. We published an episode called Come Cookies and Cream.
Oh, I do remember Come Cookies and Cream.
And it was episode 18. If you want to go back, it was one of our best performing episodes I think we've ever had. But I do not want you to confuse that book for today's book, which is Cookies and Cream.
Okay. Good.
By
different.
Latrexa Nova.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
So content warnings before we go too crazy here. It's very sexual. We've obviously got the sexual content. We've got some group sex going on. We've got some strong sub-dom dynamics. We got a little degradation in there. Why can I not say?
No, you nailed it.
I worry. Tripped so hard over that. But if those things are not your cup of tea, please come back. All of the acts happening are very consensual, just so everybody's aware. I should say consensual. There's a little magic happening. So, I mean, like, we'll get into it. Look, but everybody is enjoying the time at the end of it.
Sometimes here's I'm going to just guess a scenario, not specific to the plot, but just like, in terms of consent. If you are from like normal world and you don't know magic exists and then magic happens upon you, I can understand where like the consent of that might be questionable because you didn't know magic exists, but ultimately enjoying the experience.
No. I think everybody will be on board. Yeah. It's just maybe they didn't know they were signing up in the first place.
It's hard to consent to magic you don't know is real.
Precisely.
Awesome.
On Storygraph, it has a 2.84, and on Goodreads, a 2.98. I will say it is criminally low.
Okay, heard, chef.
And I know I'm biased, and I'm already setting an expectation in your head, and I'm doing a lot of swaying right now. Like,
you don't have to sell it to me. I love to give a high score.
I know, but for some reason I'm like, I can't believe people rated it that low. Like, probably
I'm
because
excited to find out.
The sexual elements are a little crazy, but like once you get to the root of the story, you're like, fuck the sex. Like, I care more about this other stuff going on. Okay. By the way, speaking of fuck the sex, because I haven't thought about it, I know we're already into our book, but I do want to give a slight other announcement.
Yeah, go ahead.
We will be talking about Heated Rivalry.
Oh, we will. Yeah, don't think we're ignoring it.
No, we're not ignoring it. Hope just needs to catch up.
I do.
And I have an unhealthy parasocial relationship right now with these two gentlemen that I am holding on by a thread. But I think it is a masterpiece. I just had a friend of ours tell me that she wants to watch it, but she can't watch it with me because she thinks it's something she needs to watch alone. And I was like, I kind of find that offensive because this friend of ours is very close to me. It's Addie. I'm going to out her. It's Addie. And we do everything together in a non-like sexual weird way. But I'm like, girl, this is a movie. I want to look at the camera. I want to look at my friend and be like, oh my gosh. Like,
no, I'm with her. I haven't started watching yet, full disclosure, but just based on everything I heard, I feel like this is something I would want to watch on myself.
Fine. I just want to gasp with somebody.
Sure.
Like, that's what I want, is somebody in the room. I want that camera, that third camera to break the fourth wall, and be like, oh my gosh, did you see that? Anyway, okay, we will get to it, but I felt like I forgot to mention that at the top, and I don't want people to think I'm ignoring it.
Yeah, we know it exists. We're very aware.
Very conscious that it's
super
existing.
aware.
Okay. So, back to our book. Latrexa Nova, her bio, their bio, I should say there. I do not know. I guess this is a horrible assumption that most of our authors we cover go by she, her, but sorry. Latrexa Nova's mind is a Rube Goldberg machine of puns and monster fudging. A California native, Latrexa has always seen the weird in the world and seeks to share their outright lust for the strange and unusual. Their hobbies include sculpting unnatural horrors, running from their inner demons, and trying to celebrate Halloween year-round. They write for the weirdos with a lust for darkness and offbeat humor. I would say that is very accurate of the writing that I consumed.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Very good analogies, funny moments of like, oh, that was a little dark, but very funny. Yeah, I think we all giggled a little. But jumping into our story, are you ready for all this?
I'm ready.
All right. I will start with a dedication, which is, quote, to Jay for making food good enough to fuck.
Beautiful.
Really setting a tone.
Indeed.
Our main character, Maeve, is pissed. Okay?
Okay.
She's just a middle-aged witch who wants to have a classic solstice. Call her old-fashioned. But the holidays is not complete without an orgy.
Okay? Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Look, she's not asking for much, but an orgy.
It's the holidays.
Exactly. And last year, she was supposed to meet up with capital horned one, the horned one, like pronoun or
sure.
not pronoun. Yeah. Me feeling so guilty about giving the wrong pronouns in the horned
/one.
Oh my gosh. Proper noun is what I was trying to say.
I know. Yes.
She was supposed to meet up with the horned one, only to pass out and be stood up by the horned one. And so it was the first time in 45 years she did not get a good dicking down. And now everything's been out of whack. Okay?
Boo.
And she's like, I'm just an honest witch here, trying to make a living, trying to live, pay taxes and die.
Doing my best.
I want my one time of year that I get a good dicking down, hopefully in an orgy. And it didn't happen. And now I don't know what to do. And she feels really deserted by this guy. She's like,
classic
guy being non-binary attachment, because I don't know if the horned one goes by. I guess We do get anatomy descriptions later, so we'll go by he, him for the horned one. Okay. Just for the sake of, I don't know if it's specified. I'm just very self-conscious after I got it wrong earlier. I'm sorry, you guys.
Okay.
So she is like, I feel like he abandoned me last year. So you know what? I'm not going to celebrate the solstice like that this year. I'm not going to wait around for him. If he stood me up last year, how am I not to? I'm not just going to wait. Who does that? So I'm going to look for a new tradition. Fair enough. Her daughter, is a 20-year-old. Her name is Tempest. And she decided to follow in her father's footsteps and become a Satanist, which usually means celebrating the anti-Christmas.
Sure.
And this is how Maeve describes the relationship. Quote, formerly, I thought Satanism seemed like such a downer when you could be free to seek sexual congress with the forest instead. Part of the reason her father and I never got married. She, referring to Tempest, got a chance to meet her god carnally last Halloween, but was celebrating regular Christmas in addition to her normal festivities this year since one of her partners did. So Tempest has a lot of partners. She obviously got to get with Satan.
You have to split the holidays amongst the different families.
Yes, exactly. So now that Maeve has been like looking for something new to do this year, her daughter's like, hey, you should celebrate Christmas with us. And she's like, I really don't know anything about that. I know my way of doing things for the last 45 years. I don't know about this. So Tempest is like trying to kind of win her mom over to this idea. And so she kind of has appealed to the idea that a man will slide down her chimney and get his sack out. You know what I mean? Like everything Maeve talks about is like uber sexual. Tempest calls her mom via looking glass. Okay. As you do.
As you do.
As you so often do.
As I so often do. As one so often does.
Liz and I were talking about vocal stems the other day, and she has, ever since the first wiki come out, she always is like, as one so often does.
As one so often does.
As one so often does. So anyway, she calls her mom and reminds her that she has to get the cookies ready before midnight because she has to send them out for Santa. And Maeve is like, I just think there are so many rules to, like, the whole Jesus thing, the child and in the manger, it just goes over my head. Like, there's so many things they do.
It's a lot of traditions to keep up with.
Yes,
all at
it is.
Once.
And Maeve agreed to make the cookies for her and her daughter. Like, her daughter's obviously at her own house, but she's like, I'll make the cookies for both of us because I'm the better baker in the family. And she does identify as a kitchen witch. Okay. Fair enough. There's a difference, I guess, in the type of witch, and she's a kitchen witch. Okay. And her kitchen is the best one out there. All right. At one point, Tempest is telling Maeve about all the stuff, and Maeve is like, quote, Tempest, dear, I can't keep track of who this Santa fellow is supposed to be. Some people say his name is Nick, and others call him a goat. And then there's some people who think he and Wooden are the same, which, by the way, Wooden is the name for Odin in the pagan language. And so she's just very confused. She's your mom who wants to be a part of it, but she's also like, there's so many rules to this game.
Who are any of these celebrities that you're talking about?
I don't know who these people are. It's like when you show your mom a meme and she's like, who posted that? Who's that picture of? And anyway, to really win her mom over to the idea of Christmas, she does remind her mom that they do have Yule trees. They just call them Christmas trees instead. And Maeve's like, yes, the rebranding. Lovely.
Cool. Yeah.
She's like, so that's what they did with those.
Yeah.
As she hangs up, Maeve looks around the kitchen and realizes it's a mess. And to be really honest, Maeve herself is just kind of a big mess. Based on her personality and etiquette and whatever, I would equate her to a hot mess version of Martha May Whovier. From the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I know
really seductive, kind of over the top. Okay. Yes. she's just trying to get these gingerbread cookies done. And she really does love the process, though, because she's like, it's so fun to have these little cookie cutters.
Yes.
All of these little things are like, oh, this is so delightful.
There's a nice routine, rolling everything out, using a cutter, putting it on a tray, putting it in the oven.
Exactly. So she's preheated her walk-in oven. And she's like now working with some of the ingredients, but the molasses gets spilt all over the front of her.
Ah.
And just when she's about to try and clean herself up, there's a knock at the door. Now, she lives in such a small community that knocks at the door are really just a courtesy so that people can walk in.
Sure.
Everyone leaves their doors unlocked. Everyone just helps himself. In walks her neighbor, Anna Grace, along with a really, really hot guy that Maeve has never seen before. Okay. I first need to tell you about Anna Grace. The only way to describe her is as a super polished housewife. And she's like a mega Karen, right?
Okay.
But she's like super polished and her husband's never home, but she's always in everyone's business. She's probably at the HOA meetings constantly complaining about something, right?
Right.
But she won't be like outwardly mean to you. She's going to do that passive aggressive, like Southern thing, you know? Right. So she's also got this agenda against Maeve. Like they've never really got along. So when she sees Maeve covered in molasses, it's clear that she's trying hard not to laugh, but also not trying that hard to cover it up. You know, she's like, oh, you look so put together. But
like, wow, Maeve, you look great.
They're absolutely faking their way through this conversation, acting like they're polite towards each other when really it's just like insult after insult. And super hot guy is apparently Flynn. And he is allegedly Anna Grace's husband's British co-worker who's in town staying with the family for a bit.
And just following her around while she's
trying
antagonizes people.
Yeah, she's just trying to be neighborly. That's how she said it. I'm just trying to make him feel more welcome during the holidays. And she sure does make him feel welcome. But without much of an introduction, Flynn sees the molasses and without really saying anything, goes and grabs a towel from the kitchen, goes to the sink, wets the towel and starts dabbing it against Maeve's chest and is like, it's going to set.
It's not going to do a whole lot to help.
No, really, he's just using the opportunity to touch her boobs.
And I mean,
they're not being discreet at all. They're totally making eyes at each other. She even unbuttons her blouse a little bit and just to see how he'd react. And he's checking out her cleavage, you know, all of the things.
So that's where we're at.
And while all this is happening, Anna Grace is just yap, 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 and no one's paying attention to her. At one point, Maeve drops the towel and they both lean down to grab it. And then like their faces are so close and then they start making out.
Oh, okay.
Really neighborly.
And Grace is just like, I noticed on my way in that your grass is a little bit long.
Yeah. Did you talk to the HOA about that? I saw that you painted your mailbox and it's not in accordance with all the other color hexes that we've gone with this year. But no, she's just yapping, right? And when they kiss, she screeches, oh, can you not keep yourself together, you heathen?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
And
kind of a heathen.
Maeve is like, you say heathen like it's a bad thing. Okay.
It's like, that is what I am.
Yes. And it is one of those things I will disclose too. She is a witch, but not everybody knows it. Right. Like the magic is like hidden. It's not like out there for everyone to know.
Sure.
And Flynn is like, okay, like they made out and then she's screeching and then all of a sudden, you know, they're yelling at each other and Flynn's just standing there and he goes, no, like ladies, we're all friends here.
Yeah, we don't need to be upset.
No need to be upset. And so he shifts around and all of a sudden there's this vibe change where Flynn snaps at Anna Grace. And immediately the woman bows her head and is like, I'm so sorry. And it's like, wait, what the fuck? And literally, Maeve, this is just like the weirdest thing for me. She's like, damn, what the fuck was that?
I would immediately be like, whoa, what was that?
Is that how you talk to your coworker's wife?
What just happened? What's that? What's this?
Maeve said she could actually use some help with these cookies, getting these cookies in the oven, since she's like new to this Christmas thing. And if Anna Grace wants to help her, that would be really great, because Anna Grace seems like the bitch who would know everything about Christmas, right? And Anna's like, yeah, well, I am the expert on Christmas. So whatever. I guess we just skip over that. And so the storm's raging outside. They're doing their baking. Everybody's having a good time. And as Anna Grace is bringing some cookies into the giant oven, Maeve is just sitting on the counter and like licking her fingers, like from the frosting and stuff. And suddenly, like, both Anna Grace and Flynn stop what they're doing and they're just watching Maeve as she's doing this. And so she does it extra seductively. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, this was already horny. I'll just make it 10 times hornier.
Okay. She's like, I've sensed the vibe.
Yeah, I caught a vibe. So, Flynn like breaks and grabs Maeve and calls her a little tease. And then all of a sudden they're making out and he's ripping off her blouse, not giving a fuck about the buttons, which is always what I think about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just also, it would take, unless it's very like poorly sewn on buttons, it would take more strength than you think to pop off buttons like that.
Yes.
I just want to say.
Yes. So, rips off her shirt, whatever, gets between her legs. Anna Grace is watching the whole show, just kind of like standing there watching it. And she's clearly turned on. And while he goes down on Maeve, all of a sudden Anna Grace cries out.
Stop doing that.
It took me
Stop doing that when it's fun.
It took me 2 reads to understand what actually happened, which is that Anna Grace had an orgasm. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
Why are you always yelling in the middle of things?
Girl, calm down.
Chill out.
In the midst of all the heat and tension, Maeve kind of forgot she was there until like she screams out. But Flynn gets up, like, and again, shift change, like totally killing the vibe for 5 seconds, because Maeve is like, what the fuck is going on?
What is this? What is this?
Flynn gets up and pushes Anna Grace against the counter and starts yelling at her. And he goes, you weren't to make a sound, slave.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I mean, that's a dynamic people can have, I suppose.
No, it's absolutely a dynamic people can have. And Maeve is into it. She just was like, I didn't think this girl was that skinky. Like,
that is, you declare yourself, maybe.
Like, girl, this is so weird. So he starts turning it into like almost like a degradation thing, right? So he's like embarrassing her a little bit, like being like that she's acting inappropriately, like, oh, right, you did, whatever. So apparently she had been touching herself while watching them do this, and she didn't have permission to do that by her master.
Obviously.
And he licks at her fingers to see the proof of whether or not she had been touching herself. And then he says, quote, just as I thought, you've been dipping your hand in the cookie jar.
Son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch in her cookie jar.
Been in the cookie jar again.
So then he's like, gets her on her knees and makes her crawl over to Maeve and is like, hey, Maeve, do you want her to have a taste of the cookies? And you know what kind of cookie I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do know what kind of cookie you're talking about.
Maeve was like happy to, and just like spreads her legs. And Anna Grace then goes down on Maeve while Flynn is standing somewhere in the vicinity jerking off, and they're all having a really great, wonderful time.
That's great.
They're all having a really, really fun time. And they all have a really fun orgasm. But Flynn, I don't know where he's standing, but apparently he finishes all over Anna Grace's dress. And as he's coming off of that very, very jarring orgasm, he like steps back, but his jeans are pulled around his ankle. And so he like trips back and falls into the oven.
Oh no.
Oh no. This is where I start having a lot of questions, because the oven has been brought up extensively.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So would you mind telling us a little bit about industrial ovens, because this one, I will tell you what this one kind of sounds like.
Yeah.
It sounds like, those pizza ovens that are essentially just like wood fire grill, like, wood fire ovens. It sounds like that, but like a walk-in baking version of that. Not like one that you like slide it near the, it's obviously like walk-in because they keep referring to it as a walk-in.
As a walk-in. Yeah, I know that you said before that Maeve has like a really great kitchen. Do you remember anything about the description of it, like the layout or like other things that were in it?
Not really. No, all I know is it's been referred to as
I was just curious.
Walk-in, and they do kind of explain like a few rows of racks were inside. Okay. But there was a lot of empty space.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yeah, okay.
No, whatever that means. I don't know.
I just wanted to double check. Welcome to my report. Hot holiday oven. L''oven.
Nice.
Ovens.
No, we got there. I got there.
Thank you so much to Wisconsin Ovens, Luco, Quora, and my job for all of this information. So yeah, like there are walk-in ovens. Walk-in ovens, they can also be called batch ovens, are used for like big scale baking or annealing, which is like heat treating metal or glass, or drying stuff or curing stuff. Like there are a bunch of different uses for them. And they can be a lot of different sizes. So like the Wisconsin Ovens website said that the standard size for a walk-in oven is 6 cubic feet. And so I was like, what does that translate to in a thing that would help me visualize it? And per Google, like 1 cubic foot is maybe a full bag of groceries or like 2 stacked shoe boxes. So multiply 2 stacked shoe boxes by like 6,000.
Okay.
But they're like a little room. Like I would compare them to they can be as small as like a walk-in pantry. Or bigger than that.
Or they could be whatever size they want to be.
Well, no, I just mean like on the small end. So like we have rolling racks at work that we use that I would estimate to be about 6 feet tall. They're a little bit taller than me, maybe, or maybe they're 5 feet. 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And if they're talking about rolling in lots of racks of things, like a walk-in oven would be able to bake everything on a rack like that.
Yeah.
That has tons of different slots.
Yeah.
Walk-in oven.
Got it.
I am a little bit concerned about anybody being pushed into the walk-in oven. Granted, cookies are being baked. Obviously, I burn myself all the time baking cookies, so it's always a problem. A walk-in oven can get up to 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Just something to consider. They can be gas or electric. Not all industrial ovens are big and walk-inable. So like sort of like what you were describing at the bakery, we have, in addition to, we don't have a walk-in oven. We do have a big proofer that you could put a couple speed racks in. So that's like the closest thing to a walk-in oven that we would have that warms up and you leave, pastries or bread in there to proof over time. Yeah. But next to that in our bread kitchen, we have these like double decker or triple decker stacked ovens. Deck ovens are what they're called. And they use conduction heating, which is where the heat is all coming from a hot, flat surface, versus convection heating, which blows hot air at the fan. So, some industrial kitchens will have like several long ovens all stacked on top of each other. Those wouldn't be walk-in, but they would be industrial, and they would have several different rows you could bake from. Sometimes you can just have 2 ovens stacked on top of each other, which is something else we use at the bakery. But a walk-in oven is going to be able to fit for sure at least a person, in case that is relevant.
It is.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And walk-in ovens usually use convection heating, so blowing hot air with a fan. And that's the end of my research. I am concerned for everyone's health and safety moving forward.
Yeah, no, I'm going to foreclose that this is where shit gets really crazy. Okay. Because I was following the concept of the open oven because I also, as somebody who worked at a restaurant primarily in my life, they had walk-in freezers, right? So I'm thinking, well, there's gotta be an oven version of this, right?
Yeah.
So my mind could wrap around it until she said that there was like essentially an open flame, from what I understood, like what they would have with like a pizza place,
sure,
but a walk-in version of it. So I kind of got lost there. But look, it's a kitchen witch. She is the expert. I am not.
She's the kitchen witch, not me. I'm sort of a kitchen witch, but she's the official kitchen witch.
Yeah, she's been doing it for a lot longer. She has had so many more orgies than you, clearly.
Obviously.
So jumping back into it, by the way, thank you for that. I think that's one of the best titles. And I appreciated the description of the L apostrophe.
Yeah, L apostrophe O-V-E-N-S.
For us visual learners.
Yeah, I'm just here to help.
So jumping back into the story, I'm going to disclose also that I didn't fully flush out my notes. I shouldn't even be sharing this, but I didn't flush out my notes. So now I'm raw dogging. Okay. We also have thought about doing a series where I just raw dog books. So I'm not even going to write any notes. It's just going to be based on my memory, which is a crapshoot. So anyway, I'm raw dogging. I'm basing it based on the book that I have in front of me and what I can read while I can talk. But guess who's screaming?
It couldn't possibly be
Anna Grace.
Anna Grace.
The two first names that we know.
First names of she hasn't been screaming this whole time.
Yeah, no, she's screaming for sure. And meanwhile, Maeve is like, I am still woozy from my orgasm. Can I get a second here?
Honestly, still kind of coming off it.
And she was like, you know what? The thing is, this is direct quote. The thing is, we kitchen witches are really big on our stoves and ovens. Mine is a little old fashioned, the kind of thing that you would have a big open fire and lots of space for the smoke to escape. We weren't cooking too terribly much, so only the first few rows of racks were inside, meaning there was a lot of empty space. Lots of empty space for Flynn to fall back into. So she starts reciting a spell while she's actively like going to her essentially grimoire, like her book of spells, to try and find something to save him, because the door closed on its own. That's also important to note.
Sure. Seems like magic.
And she was like, weird. I don't know what I said in order to make that happen. Also, ma'am, you are 45 years old and you are a kitchen witch.
I said I was
shit together.
I said I was close, not door, please close.
Yeah, literally. She's like, wait, did I pronounce that slightly wrong?
Dang it.
So anyway, all of a sudden Anna Grace turns to her and is like, why is your oven so fucking big? Like, bitch, you should have been asking that a while back.
I mean, we weren't trying to use it in the sexual play a while back, to be fair. And I too am confused about why the oven is so big.
And then Anna Grace starts filling a bowl with water to throw it on the fire, which makes me believe that if the door is shut, then the fire must be accessible from outside of the oven.
I suppose so.
I guess. I don't know. That part, I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure how this oven would work, because any walk-in oven could visualize wouldn't have I don't know. Anyway.
So all of a sudden things become very, very still because obviously the fire's gone out. Okay. And our girl Maeve is still kind of whispering some spells, and she's trying to like fireproof the door so they can grab it because the door's super hot now and like whatever. Smoke billows out around them, but it didn't smell like burning flesh. It smelled like spice and cinnamon and pure white, like fresh fallen snow instead of deathly gray. Anyway, I don't know what pure white smells like.
But do you know what burnt person smells like?
Don't ask that question because I actually do.
Oh no.
I did watch a car accident. I was there when a car accident happened and the guy burned. I shouldn't say I know what a burning flesh smells like, but I do know what that car accident smelled like. So anyway, thanks for the trauma, Ho.
How could I have possibly known?
You actually do know that.
I don't specifically know that you know about burning people smell.
Okay.
From covering a car accident. No.
So anyway, this is about a smut podcast. This isn't about my trauma.
Anyway, let's get it sexy again.
Okay, let's get sexy again. So She feels a hand reach out from that smoke and circle around her waist. But it's not a human hand. In fact, it's now pressing her against abs and pecs, but something's wrong. All of a sudden, she's kissing him, and she moans at the taste of him. Ginger and cinnamon and warm vanilla sugar, and like a winter treat. But his body's like radiating warmth, which fucking would think so at this point.
You're probably burning yourself. You can do that on a cookie that done just came out of the oven. I do it all the time.
And guess what? All of a sudden there's a scream. It's coming from Hannah.
And you're not even going to be able to guess who's doing it. You're not even going to guess.
Flynn is standing there, but he's no longer Flynn. And this is a direct quote. His skin was dark, reddish brown of a gingerbread cookie. His tattoos and pants were drawn on in royal icing with just a dip in the crotch to allow for his giant penis cookie dripping with frosting. So, okay, Hope, you are the baker. Not the kitchen witch, but the baker. And when you pull, let's just say, a human gingerbread out of the oven, does it have icing on it?
Listen, I can understand why the penis is dripping. It's because there's icing on a freshly baked cookie, something you simply cannot do.
Thank you.
No, of course not. After you bake something, in case you were wondering, like a sugar cookie, in case you were wondering, you bake it, pull it out of the oven, let it cool all the way. That takes forever. I lose track of time in the bakery because I got a lot of tasks. You may, in the same day, have time to dip those cookies in glaze. That's one step, but you have to wait for that to even set before you can do ice piped on details.
Yeah.
And like, even if you're going to forego the icing and go straight to the piping details, you still have to wait for the cookie to cool all the way on a rack to speed it up. If not on a rack, going to take even longer to cool.
Yes, very valid points.
Thank you.
This does not apply, apparently. So
I'm not a kitchen witch. Okay,
you are not a kitchen witch. You don't know the lifestyle.
I don't have the magic for it.
So she is like mortified, but slowly being turned on. Like something is switching inside of Maeve, where she's like, "Wait a minute, kind of horny."
I seem to have pulled an Elphaba.
Yes. Quote. I never was a fan of the taste of cum, and here was a man whose cum must taste as sweet as he looked.
Crazy assumption.
One solution. Anyway,
I'm gathering he's a cookie, so I get what she means.
Yeah.
But like, that's crazy. I've never looked at a person, and even a cookie, and been like, I bet the jizz of this is amazing.
But
just on site.
Also, Anna Grace is also like weirdly horny. And then he walks out,
to my knowledge, just continually screaming.
Yeah. Screaming out of confusion at this point. She's like, I don't know what to be doing. And then he walks out of all this smoke as a 6 foot tall gingerbread man, if you haven't caught on to this. And he goes, is it hot in here or is it just me?
Wow. Would have been better if he'd said nothing at all.
Yeah, would have rather
shouldn't
heard nothing. So he goes, oh my God, what happened? What am I? And Anna Grace goes, good enough to eat. And she starts pouncing on him, licking him.
No, you're going to murder a man.
Yeah. She's licking him, biting at him. And he like is still confused, but also is like, he, like, I don't know, like a Pillsbury boy or something. I don't know.
Like it tickles. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, he's like, slow down. What's going on? But he's also laughing. Like it's weirdly a cannibalistic moment.
A lot
but make it horny.
It's a lot to take in.
It sure is. And then she's like, Anna Grace is like, I just want to eat you up. Oh my God, he melts in your mouth. Like she is just all over it. So anyway, he starts trying to punish her, being like, don't be naughty, slave. Like, but he's still giggling. Like the tone is so odd.
Everyone has broken and we can't come back into the mood.
And then she goes like, Maeve says in her brain, I knew something was off in the back of my mind, but it was just too hard to ignore the pull and the voracious lust. And soon I found myself joining Anna Grace against him, running my hands along his gingerbread skin, delighting in the fresh from the oven softness. So then what proceeds to happen is
it's got that sweet ginger cookie magnetism. You just can't resist.
I will say that for a 44-page book, this is very descriptive. It's very, very descriptive. But essentially, she gets really fascinated with the fact that his skin is, a fresh cookie. Like, it's like soft. And it's like, but then she's tasting the sweetness. Like, she's fascinated with the texture of it. It's almost like she took drugs and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm tasting colors. Like, it's like that.
That's fair. I wonder if this is I'm unsuspending my disbelief and thinking practically because he's a cookie. I wonder if over time his texture would become more hard, like as a cookie cools, it's not soft anymore.
That's like it,
or if he was just baked gooey, so he's gonna be a little bit soft. Like I wonder how this is gonna expire. Kind of.
Yeah. Well,
it's not important. I'm not expecting these answers. It's just kind of some free thoughts I'm having
That's good. That's a good point because the frosting, they do note that the frosting is like hardened on him because Anna Grace starts nibbling at the frosting of his tattoos. Okay.
This is the most magical frosting, heat resistant, instant hardening frosting. Yes. We didn't even need to have time to set the frosting for it to stay in place. So solid.
And so she being Maeve, is sucking him off. Okay.
Yeah.
Really fascinated with the texture of his penis.
Sure.
And then she realizes his penis is still like semi-tucked into his icing pants. So she tells Anna Grace, hey, if you're going to eat anything, stop eating his tattoos because those are actually kind of hot. Can we eat off the pants, please, first? So Anna Grace goes and starts eating off so they work on the pants situation. And then when she goes back to giving him oral, he's like, again, giggling, moaning, kind of freaked out, all sorts of emotions.
I mean, if you had just been transformed into a gingerbread man.
Yeah. And then he goes, fuck, your teeth feel so good scraping like that. And I'm like, do you want to be eaten?
Said like, no man ever that I've known.
I'm a little confused.
But okay. That's just the ones I've met and none of them are gingerbread.
Yeah.
So that could be why.
Yeah. And so anyway, so they reach completion where he at least reaches completion in her mouth. And she's like, wow, that was the best cum I've ever had in my life.
Obviously.
And there's so much of it. Also, I want to point out in these books, we have so many times when this ejaculation will be so over the top. Like there's so much of it, like an absurd amount. And that is exactly what's happening here. And so like they're both trying to clean up all this icing that's coming out.
Sure.
Right. Okay. So he is like, wow, that was a crazy climax. And he stumbles back. And then I had a moment where I was like, is he going to go back into the
oven again? No.
I was like, this poor man, you're going to burn him.
The only way to get him back is to send him from whence he came.
So he kind of stumbles away and he's like, haha, just had an orgasm. So happy. And these girls are like, no, we want more. And he's like, wait a minute. He's like, I don't think I can do anymore. And Anna Grace keeps being like, I'm going to eat you up. And he goes, no, you won't be satisfied till you've eaten up every crumb. And then she licks her lips. And then he says, no, I need to. He spat out, not even bothering to finish his sentence before he turned around. Run as fast as I can.
Oh my God.
So he just runs the fuck out of the house.
I guess I don't know why I didn't see it coming, but for some reason I just didn't see it coming.
I had to like double read it because it's the end of a chapter. So I was like, wait, he's going to do what? So.
But like, I guess of course he is. I'm the fool.
So he runs out into this winter storm and these girls are so compelled by his magical taste that they start running after him in the storm. To my knowledge, I think it's even clarified. They're both half dressed. It's freezing outside. They don't have any shoes on. He is also, let's remind you, a naked gingerbread man.
Yes.
They do note that some of the neighbors are like looking out of their windows in interest of what's going on. But it's at least late enough that like there's only a few peeping Toms. I guess, is it peeping Tom if you are the one out there? They're in their homes looking at you running after a gingerbread man.
I mean, yeah, they're being nosy at least.
Yes. So they're crying out, "Come back here, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man."
Like, say it. Say it.
Say your line. Anyway, so he's like giggling and delirious, running around. And both of these women are like, we have no chance of catching him. He's a 6 foot tall man.
We can't catch him. He's the gingerbread man.
Clearly. And so he darts in an alley. They run there. They try and catch up, but there's no hope. He keeps running away from them. And then they finally stop and catch their breath in this alleyway. And they kind of have a moment of like, wait a second. Do we both realize how fucking crazy this is?
This is nuts. And I don't even like you that much, first of all.
Exactly.
We are not friends.
But they have a bonding moment. And so at one point, Anna Grace is like trying to cover her tracks by being like, "Oh my gosh, we lost my husband's coworker from Britain." Like,
not my husband's coworker from Britain, who I am not slave to.
And then Maeve is like, "Hey, he cucked you before turning into a giant cookie. I think you can drop the pretense. Does your husband even know about him?" And like,
it's fine.
Yeah. And also Anna Grace does call her out on being a witch. And she's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's why my oven is so big, ?
She's like, "Are you really a heathen? You really are a heathen. A witch then, aren't you?" And she was like, "Bitch, we've been running after a gingerbread man. And this is when you have questions?"
I'd have been a heathen either way, but yeah, dude.
Yeah. Anna Grace does confess that they are divorced. Her and her husband are divorced.
Okay.
And this shocks Maeve. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you've got a white picket fence and the 2.5 children and the perfect little
5 children."
And and then Anna Grace
of a child.
But like the statistic, you know what I'm talking about. Like people will be like the 2.5 children. And she's like, and like then Anna Grace makes a joke that's like, "Don't you dare call Jim half a child. He may be 20, but he's still a full grown child." And like they're able to laugh over the joke, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
Anyway, so then they're like, "Wow, you're actually a lot cooler than I thought you were." Like, and they have this moment of like, we should be friends, you know? And maybe we're a little dirty. Maybe we should get dirty with each other sometime. Anyway, so now they're like, wait, we really have to go and find this guy. And they are trying to figure out why it happened to him, right? And so she's like, "Well, when he fell in there, I was worried he'd burn alive. So I like muttered this spell to protect him. And I wasn't really paying
Yeah, we're familiar.
No, we know. We are
I've seen Wicked for Good twice now, so
precisely. So she was like, "I wasn't really paying attention. And so I must have said something about baking him into something delicious." Okay. And she was like, "Now I just need to splice the spell," as one does, right? Splice the spell and he'll be back to normal. But we have to catch him first.
Just splice it.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, we've got to go get him. And then they do have a moment where like they're like, "Okay, do you think because we ate off the tattoos that his tattoos are really gone?" Because that would be a shame because they were really hot.
Agree. I have the same concern. Also, tattoos are expensive. So if they're gone forever, that also really sucks.
Decrease the value, turned into icing. Okay. So we finally find Flynn. He is surrounded by the neighbors who are pulling at him, trying to get a bite of him.
So upsetting.
They have gone crazy. All right.
Oh, no. He has to die. It's the only way.
He's halfway between like deliriously laughing and also scared out of his mind because these people are trying to eat him, right?
Obviously.
And I won't get into all of the nooks and crannies, but he keeps on saying the whole, I have to run fast as I can. Yeah, okay.
He does love to say that he has to run as fast as he can.
And both the girls, now that they're back in the vicinity of him, they're like, ooh, we should abandon our plan to save him and just eat him instead. And they're like, okay, no, we've got to stay focused here, ladies. Anyway, these people, though, are also like, yes, they're trying to eat him, but they're also horny. Like, it's so clear that, like, it's like some sort of orgy vibe.
It's a real Don Juan Velociraptor thing where just like being around him makes you horny.
Yes. And he's trying to cross this little river. I shouldn't call it little because it's actually pretty big. According to our narrator, it's a little bigger, but he's trying to cross it. But obviously he's disintegrating because he's a cookie in water.
Yeah, obviously.
That's where the science starts playing a role, right?
Can't swim. Yeah, now we're getting practical. He can't swim in water. He's a gingerbread man.
So Anna Grace somehow hauls this 6-foot-tall gingerbread man, which the only way Maeve describes it is like he must be lighter as a cookie, I guess.
Sure.
But like hauls him up and is able to carry him. In case you were
curious, he happens to maybe just be lighter or whatever.
Yeah. And while she's like carrying him to the bank, like Maeve is doing her little spell, trying to get him back to normal, whatever. But being so close to him, Anna Grace just can't help it. She needs a little nibble. She needs just a little nibble.
Just one little nibble.
Just give me a bite, please. So she's like nibbling at him. And he's like, shit, Anna Grace, wait, stop. And then he goes, Anna Grace, that's my toe. And then they realize that the gingerbread is coming off of him and there is a human foot underneath.
Oh, interesting.
So like now it's like his human body's actually underneath the gingerbread.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So then there's a joke made about whether he has a sweet ass or not.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, apparently. Does he? Is he a gingerbread with a big old badonka-donk?
And he doesn't seem like he's in the mood for jokes, though. He does make a joke, though, about wanting to punish her as a slave because she was nibbling at him when he told her not to.
I'm not sure we have that dynamic anymore now that you've been a cookie, but we'll talk.
But they do shift into that dynamic.
Oh, okay. Go. It's back. Never mind.
Yeah. And she's like, but master. And he says, how dare you speak it to me? Sit, slave, sit and watch. This is your punishment. And then he had Maeve eat off as much cookie product she could until she got full. And then she was like, I'm sorry, I can't eat anymore. I'm so full.
It's like, I'm crazy full.
And then he goes, all right, slave, you can pick up where she left off. But then the horde is upon them once again. All of those neighbors are still horny as fuck.
He's too sexy.
So then they all come roaring in and they're eating off of him as well. But now it's turning sexual because he's like, I'm done running. Okay, I'm so tired.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm so done.
Take me as I am.
Take me as I am. And then like as the neighbors are coming in, by the way, it says Flynn instead walked forward, holding his arms wide at the incoming horde, like just sacrificing himself. But then she describes all the different neighbors and where they live and like what they're doing to him.
Awesome.
Anyway, so she turns to Anna Grace and goes, Anna Grace, do you know what this is? And she's like giddy with anticipation. And she doesn't answer. She just looks at her in confusion. She goes, it's an orgy, Anna Grace. It's a Christmas miracle.
We did it, Anna Grace.
We did it. Because now everyone is just not stopping at the eating. They're all just getting it on. Like, obviously, all the neighbors are getting it on. And like, everybody's kissing, everyone's sucking, everyone's touching. It's just mass chaos. Okay. Then she feels a familiar hand caress her when she's, by the way, they're in the fray at this point.
Right. Like you can't beat them, join them.
Yes. But she feels a familiar, far too familiar, long missed hand at her breast.
Regular, not ginger.
And she turns to see the horned one.
No!
Pull her into a passionate kiss. And he says, "Here's the orgy I've been waiting for." And she goes, "You came." And he said, "Not yet."
Hilarious.
And so he starts having sex with her in her vagina. And then she feels a different hard object press her in from behind, and it's Flynn. Oh. And so then both men just enjoy having sex with her. And she just is having the greatest time being fucked by both of these men. And the last line says, "God's fuck us, everyone."
It's a Christmas
it's
miracle.
A Christmas miracle.
Yay!
We do get from the author, I guess a chef friend provided the author with a gingerbread recipe called
Amazing
Fucking Good Gingerbread, aka Dickerdoodle.
Will you send it? Will you actually send
it? Yeah. I will send it to you.
Amazing.
That is our book.
Yay!
I don't know why anyone wouldn't love this book. I'm sorry. I get that like the sex maybe wasn't everything, like because they really did. Yes, it was descriptive sex scenes, but they really did focus on like the wildness of everything else going on.
Too. Right. Like the gingerbread man of it all.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Do you?
Yes.
I don't know why. This one just hit really good for me.
I feel full of holiday cheer.
I will say I went in the first couple of paragraphs of the book. I had to like reread a couple times because I didn't know we were throwing so many references out there with like the magic and like the different Yule tides. And like I have had orgies and like my husband and I are not together. Like it was like,
the horde one. And...
Yeah. So I had to read it a couple times to understand the tone of where we were at. But yeah, I was in it. Diversity. I will say they make it clear that she is obviously 45-ish. What's her name? Anna Grace is like in her late 30s. And I think they reference the guy to be a little bit older than Anna Grace. And so like, they're all older. And I was like, yes.
Thank you.
Because even at one point, Anna Grace is like, yeah, I've not been happy in my marriage. Like, yes, we're getting a divorce. And also like the kids are out of the house now. And I was like, girl, you are young for your kids to be out of the house. You are young for your kids to already be out in the world. So, kind of crazy. Anyway, what else? Any other diversity? I will say our girl is described to have like red hair, but there's no other descriptions. I will say, very inclusive from a perspective of multiple partners.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sticking with just monogamy.
We're sharing and caring in this book.
Yeah, we really want to share. Okay, plot. Look, 5.
Five.
What are you going to tell me? You're going to tell me that wasn't a 5? That was a 44-page book.
Crazy.
With the recipe.
And a recipe, you guys.
What do you want?
That's nuts.
Smut?
I'll give it a 4.
You're going to give it 4?
Yes.
What's docking you a point there? What's lacking, do you feel like?
Well, I do have to always give a disclosure when we're interacting with food to wash your bits.
Oh my gosh. Okay, to my knowledge, they never put the gingerbread inside of their bits.
Still, it's around bits. And
the ginger bits.
There's ginger bits.
The ginger bits were in her mouth. So maybe, I guess, but I don't know. I think we've got to pass on this one. But I understand your 4. I'll stay. I'll be there.
I don't know.
I am going to give it a 5 because we got oral sex at the very beginning. Then we got his oral sex after the baking. And then they have orgy. I
kind of forgot that they were interacting prior to him becoming a gingerbread man as well.
Yes. Also, the Dom dynamic was very interesting. That was one I wasn't seeing coming.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a cover in there for you. And I cannot wait for your description.
5.
Precisely. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Okay, please give it to our people.
It's great because it includes a design aspect that I also have in my in one of my drawings. So this is Cookies and Cream, a spicy Christmas magic book by Latrexa Nova. All of that is on the book title, just in the places where you find words. Background, red, with like kind of evergreen, wintry Christmas tree with red ornaments and snow greenery on the edges. Standing in the foreground, the from shoulders down, absolutely ripped muscular torso of a man who has from just the head up the face of a head and face of a gingerbread man. It doesn't look like this is not giving Wicked for Good Scarecrow. This is like the gingerbread man from Shrek's head. He's got little white frosting eyes, eyebrows, and he's got a red frosting mouth with a little bit of, I assume, cum.
Yeah,
it's coming out of his mouth.
It's very seductive.
He's got a bow tie, and he has on top of his human man bare muscular chest 3 gumdrop buttons, which is also something, except my I have to make them bigger because my ink smudged. I also did that on one of my drawings. Just made gumdrop buttons on a regular man torso. And he's got just the tiniest white frosting squiggles at his wrists.
Yeah, he's very shirtless.
Yeah, it's absolutely shirtless, absolutely soft man flesh with just a gingerbread man's head.
Yes.
And like a gingerbread Santa hat.
It's very well, like for Photoshop, like I love where we went with this, Tim.
It's a well chosen, like the skin tone of this man complements the shade of the cookie.
Like that
in a way that the transition's not super jarring. It is very clearly human skin and cookie, but like it's not like 2 super separate colors.
Yeah, but like I just like the amount of detail that was put into this. I will say my only complaint, which I'm not even going to dock for because I cannot be bothered, is that there are no tattoos. And he's supposed to be having tattoos on his arms.
Agree.
So whatever.
And I did draw I'll have to send the picture, and I did draw tattoos.
Okay, good. That was incredible. What is your Sesa moment? I should disclose. Sorry, I gave it 100, and you gave it 93%. What is your Seisma moment from the book?
My Seisma moment is baking related, and it's to do with the concept of frosting being on a freshly baked out of the oven cookie that simply isn't possible.
I think we beat that dead horse.
I know, but you asked me for my opinion, and that's the opinion I have. What is my Seisma moment? I guess when it started getting a little cannibalistic, I had some concerns. And obviously I don't want anybody to be inside a walk-in oven.
No,
that's not safe.
No. As soon as we ended the chapter with him falling back into the oven, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to pull a whole like Agatha Christie, like some crazy situation going on here. We might Stephen King it, like I don't know, but
we're gonna find like the remnants of Pompeii, a man inside this oven.
Exactly.
And then charred.
We kind of just kept adding after that because I was like, oh, is that going to be the crazy moment? And then he's just now a hot gingerbread man. But no, then he says the line and runs out of the house, and then they go run chasing after him. And then there's a horde of neighbors who also went in on it. And guess what? We got the horned one back into the story by the end.
Like, we're having an orgy. Surprise.
He's like, thank God. Know. He's like, I finally feel like this is a cool enough party to me roll up to, for me to hang out.
I mean, in my opinion, he sucks for being like that.
Oh yeah, she deserves better.
She does.
At one point, she does explain that she's nervous because she's supposed to bring those cookies to her daughter before midnight. And at one point, she's like, "I'm a little concerned about getting these, like her coming by." And I was like, "Okay, so did your daughter come by?" Like,
I'm concerned about a lot of different factors.
But look, I had too good of a time. I
quite frankly don't care about your daughter's thing with the cookies, which isn't very nice of me.
No. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us, if you so choose, on TikTok or Instagram at saysmutpodcast. Additionally, we'd love to hear your book recommendations. Send those our way via email at saysmutpodcast@gmail.com and pop us a rating or review on the podcast platform of your choosing.
Please.
Look, we know we said we've been naughty. And guess what? It's only going to get worse from here.
It's not getting nicer.
No, we've got so many more books to cover before the end of the year, So with that said, stay vigilant about who's walking through your door. I'd say that, please practice kitchen safety.
Do not shove people into ovens.
To be fair, he did it to himself.
I know, but still, it's just you shouldn't have a walk-in oven.
No,
no.
Unless you're a kitchen witch.
Unless you are a certified kitchen witch, get out of here. You cannot have a walk-in oven.
No. And more than anything, stay smutty.
Stay smutty. We'll
see you next time.
Bye-bye.